What's going on, guys? I'm Renegade. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something pretty cool and a lot different than I've done in the past. If you've been subscribed to my channel, if you've seen my other videos, you know that I drive a rather old car. Alright, I drive a 1987 Volvo 245. When I say it's an old car, I don't mean like it's horribly old, but it is much older than what most people are driving these days. That being said, I like that. Okay, I like the old, I like the simple. But today, we're going to do something to bring my car a little closer to being modern. I'm not a big fan of the modern stuff, but there's a few little things that I do like. So this video is about security systems and remote start. Now this is going to be a little bit different because obviously I'm not a professional. I'm an amateur mechanic doing this video in my driveway. Well, right now I'm not, but it's easy to describe it here. But I do all my work in my own driveway, and I'm not a professional, and I'm doing things on vehicles that aren't necessarily recommended. No one's going to suggest you put a remote start in an old Volvo, especially one that is a stick shift. What I did was I hopped online and I bought this. Okay, Bandai car alarm system remote start. I bought this off of eBay for, I think it was like 35 bucks, 40 bucks, something like that. And made in China, but I read a lot of the reviews and said a lot of good things. So here's hoping. But it comes with everything I need. Horn, hard to see in the wrapper. Comes with a horn for the alarm system. I'll have to find someone to mount this. Control module, buttload of wire. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. There's wires for every little piece. Fuses already in them. Very useful, very important, because a lot of these systems you're going to want a fuse on, but they've already got them in, so I don't have to splice in fuse connectors. I mean, look at this, I don't know what half this stuff is for yet. Light for the security system. I'll let you know that it's armed. I'll have to find somewhere to put that. Cat, not included. Shock sensor. So if anybody is messing with the car, it'll set off the alarm. Microwave sensor. Again, same thing. If anybody is, I think actually this is. You want to be in the video? No? Then chill out. In case anything gets too close to your car, you can, the alarm will go off if anyone gets too close. What's cool actually about these is, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but in this little hole is an adjuster. And there's the same thing for the shock sensor. And, you can adjust it so that you can adjust the sensitivity. If you don't want it to be super sensitive, you can tone it down a bit so it takes a real jostling to get it to work. Same with the proximity sensor. 3M foam for mounting all this stuff, and 2 keys. Now, I was a little worried that when I got these keys they were going to feel flimsy, cruddy. But actually they don't. They're actually pretty solid feeling. Plastic, not metal. Pretty cool. A little light on it. When I hit a button, it lights up. But yeah. This is all laid out and I'll show you all. Oh, I forgot to mention. Very important thing that it comes with. Instructions. Thank heavens, because there are wiring diagrams in here that I'm going to need. Because as you can see, it's a lot of wires. I'm not entirely sure where they'll go. Luckily, so this comes in. Now this does show a lot of what the buttons do, what the different modes are, because there are different things you can set it to do. Some of the stuff I'm not going to need. I don't have a trunk, so I'm not going to need a trunk release. Stuff like that. Don't know if I'm going to keep a door locking reminder in here. But we'll see. I'll play with the settings when I get to it. wiring schematics for central locking. In case you have a positive draw, sorry, a positive trigger central locking system or a negative trigger locking system. And I'll get more into that when I actually get out to the car. Wiring diagrams. All this stuff. Look at this. Handbrake connect. Foot brake connect. Engine cutoff circuit. AC connect. All this stuff nicely labeled out. Complete with the colors right there. Hopefully you can tell what that is on the camera. More over here. Trunk connect. Like, I'm not going to need this because I don't have a trunk, like I said. LED connector. Probably going to use that. Siren connect. Definitely going to use that. It's not going to be a super easy job. Luckily, once I figure out what all these wires are, it'll be easier. I'm going to need my wiring diagrams. I start going through and figuring out which wires I want and which wires I'm not going to use. Because, like I said, some of them I'm not going to use. I don't think I'm going to go with the shock sensor. Or the microwave sensor. I don't think I'm going to go with the microwave sensor. Because I'm not really that concerned with proximity. I'm more concerned about jostling. So I'm probably just going to use the shock sensor. I got to read through and figure out exactly what it is I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. Good. Trunk connect, not going to use it, don't need it. I don't need to connect the wires to that. So what I'm going to do is when I find the wires I don't need, I'm just basically going to tape them off so that I can't accidentally get myself confused. So I'm going to figure this out real fast. I'll get back to you. Draw and clear. It's a lot of wire. A lot. This is why I'm going to sit here and go through it now rather than later on, because it's actually like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to figure everything out here in a controlled area before I go out to the car and I deal with all that. One of the important things to note, right here it says, hopefully you can see that, 12P and 8P, 6P. How many pins are in this one? If you look at this one, alright, there are 12 pins. Hello, Jesse. Cats always make wiring more fun. Like, the 6-pin connector, 8-pin connector. They're doing this using the same kit as I have. It's pin slots, not pins. So, like, this has got 12 pin slots and 11 wires. It's number of slots. Alright, so a little confused, but I think I've got it all figured out as much as I can here and not in the car. Because some of the stuff I had to figure out in the car, actually following the wires or testing the wires, because a little bit confusing, but we'll get there when we get there. What I did, to make my life simple, all these wires right here, are for the door locks. So I taped them up just using electrical tape. I can move that later on. That'll be easy. Now I know this harness goes over there. These wires I'm not going to use. My car doesn't have a bypass, or an immobilizer bypass, so I won't need that. I don't need the trunk actuator, so that's gone. These I will need. These are for the start and for power. And then to make my life a little easier, a little cheat sheet, just so I know what's going on. It's going to be a lot of work. It is not going to be an easy thing. This is going to take like a day, at least. But it's super late. I'm glad I did this stuff now, so I don't have to do it later on. And, yeah, looks like next step, getting to the car, which I will do in a bit. Good morning, folks. So, this is a project I've been waiting to do for a while now, and part of it's because of the weather. Luckily, right now, it's actually really nice out. It's sunny, it's warm, I think it's like 55 degrees. Because our weather has been like under freezing for a while now. Or it's been raining, or it's been snowing, or it's been whatever. Glad I finally get to work on it. You can tell, because my car, you can tell it's been nasty because my car is covered in bird crap and I haven't gotten a chance to wash it off. That's gonna happen later. But now, remote start. Let's get to it. So the first thing I had to do is I had to get out my gauge cluster so I can get access to my wires. It's a rat's nest in there, isn't there? Look at that. A rat's nest. And I had to take off the knee bolster. Then get to this side. Yes, more wires. Looks like a mess. And I'm gonna have to, I think, take off this cover right here so that I can mount this. It's a lot of work to get to everything, but it's totally gonna be worth it in the end, I'm sure. The important thing to figure out when you go to find a place to mount this is to make sure that your wires are going to be long enough, because otherwise you have to extend your wires, which is not difficult, it's just a pain, and I'm lazy. But I had to get to my ignition wires. It's this connector right here. I already pulled the back connector off. Ooh, my pins are starting to fall out because it's a tight fit. So, I'm going to start dry fitting all my wires. I'm not going to solder anything in until I'm 100% sure that it's going where it's supposed to go, because I don't want to have to cut and fix all that. You never want to do that. Always dry fit. Make sure that your connectors work. Make sure that your wires are correct. Then solder. So let's start figuring all that out. Alright, as you guys can see, it's a mess in here. It's a little dark too. Here's the thing that got me confused. This is an engine shutoff circuit. Means you need to connect it from the signal from the box. It's this wire. You need to cut your ignition wire and connect it to the two greens, and you need to connect this white wire to your ignition. So white is power from your ignition when it's switched on, when your car is on and running. The green wires are to your ignition switch, your starter switch. The wire that goes to your starter solenoid. And this one's to the power. It's getting a bit messy. I know it's hard to see, but we're cranking along. Alright folks, so making progress. I didn't film a lot of this because a lot of it was poking and prodding and testing and trying to see which one was which. So I'm going to cut all that boring stuff out. But here's the important thing. I got it all hooked up in here. My engine cutoff switch, or engine cutoff circuit relay. So this is a mess. The starting sensor wire from the box connected to my tack wire. The starting sensor wire is to keep your motor from continuing to crank. It senses that the tachometer is reading, the engine is turning consistently at a higher rate than cranking, so it stops trying to crank it. Very important. One thing I've yet to hook up for the starting circuit is actually this wire. This wire is for my handbrake. Haven't connected yet because I haven't routed it yet, but I'll do it later. But it's a negative wire. It's a ground wire because the light for your handbrake is a negative, or is a ground interrupt switch. So I'm gonna just kind of falsy it for now. Connected to the negative. This is my voltage meter. It's getting direct power from the battery. So that's connected to the negative. System has to be armed, has to be on alarm mode. You can see my ignition cylinder is empty. Sweet! Alright, so the next step is to hook up the wires for the lights. So that when I arm the car, or the alarm goes off, my lights will flash. So I've got my headlight
switch harness right here. I already know from my wiring diagram that white are my tail lights, and yellow, this dark one here, not the one with the stripe, but the dark one, is for my headlights. So now I gotta cut into these and tap the wires in. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see because of the light, but now, if I on the alarm, the light goes on, my headlights go on. So we're making progress. It's slow, but it's progress, and we're getting there. You can tell I'm a little flustered. Alright, so more and more progress being made. Some of this has just been an awkward angle, so it's been very difficult to try and get the camera in to film as well as my hands. But I got everything hooked up in here. I cut the wires I don't need short. Same down here. Mounted this up. There's a cover I have that goes over this, so you won't see that. Fish the wires through to here for the door harness. Fish the wire all the way through. Oh, tell it's getting late. My back is starting to hurt. I'm getting old. Fish the wire through here and around the strut tower, around to the horn, which I put there. Now, granted, I know you're supposed to put the horn down because it's not supposed to collect rainwater and etc., but it's under the hood. It's never going to happen. I don't have to worry about it. Alright folks, that's going to have to do it for me for today. I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't get everything I wanted to get done. The doors still aren't hooked up, but that looks like it's going to be a fairly involved process. Main thing is the remote start is good. The alarm is good. As you can see, there's nobody in there but a mess. Door's locked. So if you guys liked the video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. I'll be back with another episode where hopefully I'll get the doors straightened out too. So if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And of course follow me on the social media links down below. And of course there will always be a playlist to the car that I'm working on down below as well. So for right now, that's it, guys. Yeah. You all keep rocking and rolling. I'll keep taking care of business. See you in the next one.